On this day in history, April 19th, 1677, the French army captures the town of Cambrai, held by Spanish troops. Included in the following is an excerpt from the 1944 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, going over the history of the town. Cambrai, a town of northern France, the seat of an archbishop and capital of an arrondissement in the department of Nord, 37 miles south by southeast of Lille, on the main line of the Northern Railway. Population from 1936, 29,246. Cambrai is situated on the right bank of the canalized Schelde, arms of which traverse the west of the town. Formerly strongly fortified, the ramparts had given way before the War of 1914-18, in which Cambrai figured prominently and was badly damaged, to handsome boulevards. Cambrai is the ancient Nervian town of Camaracum, mentioned in the Antonine Itinerary. In the 5th century, it was the capital of the Frankish king Ragocarius. Fortified by Charlemagne, it was captured and pillaged by the Normans in 870, and unsuccessfully besieged by the Hungarians in 953. During the 10th, 11th, and 12th centuries, it was the scene of frequent hostilities between the bishop and the citizens, but the latter ultimately effected their independence. In 1478, Louis XI, who obtained the town on the death of Charles the Bold, handed it over to the emperor, and in the 16th century, Charles V built a strong citadel for the erection of which castles of cavaliers and escudevers were demolished. From that day to the Peace of Nimwegen of 1678, which assigned it to France, it frequently changed hands by capture or treaty. The League of Cambrai is the name given to the alliance of Pope Julius II, Louis XII, Maximilian I, and Ferdinand the Catholic against the Venetians in 1508. The Peace of Cambrai, the Ladies' Peace, was concluded in the town in 1529 by Louise of Savoy, mother of Francis I, and Margaret of Austria, aunt of Charles V, in the names of these monarchs. The bishopric of Cambrai, dating from the 5th century, was raised in 1559 to the rank of an archbishopric, which continued till the Revolution and was later restored. The bishops received the title of count from the Emperor Henry I, 919 to 936, and in 1510 were raised to the dignity of dukes. Their territory, including the town itself and its territory called Cambraises. In World War I, Cambrai was occupied by the Germans from August 26, 1914 to October 8, 1918. When they retired, they left the town heavily mined, and the central portion was wrecked. Heavy fighting also took place in the area during World War II, May 1940, when an unsuccessful offensive was launched by the French to cut off a German spearhead, driving west to Abbeville. The former Cathedral of Cambrai was destroyed after the Revolution. The present Cathedral of Notre Dame is a church of the 19th century, built on the site of the old Abbey Church of Saint Sepulchre. It was severely damaged in 1918. Among other monuments, it contains that of Fenelon, archbishop from 1695 to 1715. The Church of St. Géry, 18th century, contains, among other works of art, a marble Renaissance rod screen. The Place des Armes, a large square in the center of the town, is bordered on the north by the Hôtel de Ville, 1863. The Tour of St. Martin is an old church tower of the 15th and 18th centuries, transformed into a belfry. The triple stone portal, which gave an entrance to the former archiepiscopal palace, is a work of the Renaissance period. Cambrai has a sub-prefect, tribunals of first instance and of commerce, a board of trade arbitrators, and a chamber of commerce. There is a museum of antiquities and objects of art. Wool spinning and weaving, bleaching and dyeing are carried on. Before World War II, the town had regained importance. There was beet sugar works and trade in coal, cattle, and grain.